everybody. We're here today to talk about sales funnels and exactly what is a sales funnel and what are the elements that you need in your sales funnel to make it work with your blog and your current business. I know everybody hears about this, I don't know, buzzword of sales funnels. How complicated is it? Is it easy? How does it work? We're here to dive into that and give you some real life examples so that you'll walk away from this knowing exactly how this applies to your business.
Exactly. And if you don't know us yet, my name is John Whitford, and this is my beautiful wife, Susie. We run a little website called Start a Mom Blog and several other little projects. And over the last 8 years, I guess at this point now, we have been learning, implementing, and hopefully excelling at sales funnels to grow a pretty successful business that allows us to stay home and do fun stuff like this to help you guys every single day. So before we dive into the content, if you want to leave us in a chat, whether you're watching live or watching after the fact, do you have a sales funnel? What is yours looking like? What are you struggling with? What is your current experience with that? By the end of this video, I hope we give you a couple good nuggets to take away to improve your understanding and your ability to apply them as we dive into it. All right. So Susie, do you want to go ahead and give us like a high level overview based on our actual real life experience of sales funnels before we dive into some examples here?
Yeah. Just one thing. You're a little too modest. I think you called our businesses little, but guys, like we broke a couple months of making $100K per month, just me and John working on this business. So we're pretty legit, and you guys are in good hands. But John is way too modest to ever be too salesy about himself. So leave that to me.
It has been fantastic. I left my job in 2018 when we were making around $20,000 to $30,000 per month pretty consistently, but we hit a ceiling there for quite a while. Then as we turned on paid advertising, which we'll talk about at a very high level in this video, that's when you can really scale and get consistency in your sales and your revenues every single month. And since then, we've been able to cross that six-figure profit mark pretty consistently. It's been pretty life-changing along the way.
In a month. All right. In a month. That's a big deal. All right. So overall, and John is going to write down this in much better detail so you guys can see it and take notes. But a sales funnel is grabbing somebody's attention from wherever they are. Maybe they're driving down the highway and they see a billboard. Okay, that's the real life example. Or they're on Facebook and they're scrolling and they see an advertisement there. So you're grabbing somebody's attention, or they happen to land on your blog, right? That's another way of getting somebody's attention. Then through that blog post, through that advertisement, through that billboard, you build some desire onto something that they want. Like, oh, I'm really hungry. I want some barbecue. I'm in the mood for barbecue. Or another Chick-fil-A sign down the highway. We're stopping. Or on their blog, you blog about essential oils, and the person landing there really has that desire to have their kids sleep better through the night. They've tried everything, and you have this awesome kids lavender product that's going to help them sleep better. You build that desire, and at the end, you have a way that they can purchase it. You either have that essential oil course, printable, actually the product, you have the barbecue in the restaurant, or you have that Chick-fil-A nuggets that everybody wants.
Okay, you're making me too hungry. You're making me too hungry. So yeah, let's kind of break this down and get some real world examples. I think that makes things way easier to understand. So I'm going to share my screen real fast here. And essentially what Susie walked over there is, in any sales process, you can talk funnels or all these different buzzwords. But if you think about the dawn of time, like if all you have is a goat and you're going to the market, right? Like how do you sell that goat when you're going to the market back before the internet, before TV, before any of that? Well, you go to a physical location, right? You go to your market, and there's all these little sales booths out there, and you put a sign out here that says, I have a goat, or I have a cow, or I have something for you to sell. You're getting their attention, right? Step one, before you can sell anything, they need to know you have something that's there for sale. And then the person comes up. I don't know why I started with a goat analogy, but the person comes up out of nowhere and they walk over to you and they start asking you questions about the goat. They start learning about the goat, how old it is, if it's tasty, if it creates good milk, anything you want to know. And over time, if you're answering those questions, you're kind of building that relationship with that person. You're going to start to build some desire with them. And they're going to be like, okay, this goat sounds like a pretty good deal. And then it's simply, you need to have a way that's easy, that doesn't repel them, where you can make a sale and you can give them a goat in exchange for money. Good note. Like, Susie, save me from talking about goats. Give me a better example and I can illustrate it as you're talking through it. But again, like attention, desire, and being able to make a sale is the most basicness about business 101. So give us a better example and I'll illustrate with fun.
All right. So we recently got into homeschooling, which is, I had no idea I would love it this much. Like, I wake up excited for what lessons are we going to cover today. I have a little tracker, and she's just excelling at it. She's doing, so we're a little ahead today. So that's why we could be here at the office. But in first grade, a big thing about first grade is learning about the months of the year, the days of the week, all that, right? Time. So seeing the calendar. That's what we have to teach our oldest daughter this year. And it's kind of fun. So the piece of curriculum that I got was a little flip book. So it flips from January, February, March. And you're like, okay, I'm flipping, but I don't see it. And for me, I want to see things to be able to learn about it. So I got the attention that I needed to teach her about the calendar. Then I had this desire to make it easier for her, to show her the entire year. And that desire got in me, obviously. So then I went searching for something to fulfill that desire. How can I get a calendar big enough so I can use it and show my daughter the year? So I went on Amazon and I bought a 7-foot by 5-foot wall calendar. It's enormous. It takes up an entire wall in our homeschool room, but she can actually see the entire year, January, February, March, all the way to December. She can write in the numbers for each day. She can learn about how many numbers or how many days in a month, how many days in a week, everything that I'm trying to teach her. But that's where the attention, yes, I need something for my daughter. I'm homeschooling. I got that desire for the big calendar. And then I go on Amazon and I purchase it. And as you're thinking about your audience, we went into a new lifestyle of homeschooling. So that opened up a whole new array of desires. I never had the desire to have a huge wall calendar. I never had the desire to have so many whiteboards in my house, or lots of little instruments so I can teach the guys about music. So whatever niche your audience is in, there's going to be a whole plethora of desires that can help them fulfill.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I hear so often with my clients where they ask, "Hey, I don't think this model really fits my business or my people. My industry is different." But if you think about like what's happening, maybe the tactics or the individual designs might not be as applicable, but it all comes back to the exact same attention, desire, and sales opportunity. For example, during the COVID craziness, we decided to buy a bigger house because our house wasn't really set up for all that we needed to do within our one little home, right? So we were just driving around because there was no place else to go. Everything was shut down. And we still saw some for sale signs out there in front of the houses, right? We saw that there was the opportunity to buy something. So, okay, they got our attention. We called up the real estate agent. We did some walkthroughs, which was still available during COVID, which I thought was kind of cool. So we saw it. But as we walked into the right house, that desire hit us. And we knew this is the house for us. We emotionally connected with it, and it was easy for us to make the sale. So no matter what it is you're talking about, and we'll get into actual, online business examples as well, but that's the basics of business. And if you can kind of separate yourself from the individual tactics and think about the big picture, you can move forward confidently. So do you want me to go ahead and draw out an example of a funnel? We can talk about those stages and how they work together, Susie?
Yeah, but just want to
go for it.
Throw you under the bus or under the fifth wheeler.
Do it. Bring it up.
So desires can change, right? During COVID, we got this beautiful home because we were all stuck inside. And then we're like, this might be a good solution. And now we're swinging the other way again. And we actually looked at fifth wheelers again yesterday. So just to let you guys know, desires do change. And we might one day do that.
Start a Mom Blogs hitting the road, but nothing has been decided yet, but I would love to.
I know. I overshare.
Thank you for doing that. That's very appropriate. All right. So let's break down the idea of the sales funnel. And I just like to kind of draw this out. And where so many people, I saw in the comments, people were talking about email marketing. They were talking about different tactics and aspects of the business. But let's go ahead and break this down by showing the, the attention, the desire, and the sales at the bottom end. And Susie, do you want to kind of talk about individual aspects of the, how do you actually get people's attention? How do you create desire and how do you make sales? And let's kind of see how this works out through the sales funnel process.
All right. Do you want examples?
Yeah. So for example, how could you get somebody's attention for your printables business?
Sure. All right. So top of the mind, quick things that come to mind is Obviously, social media. You guys can start your Facebook pages, your Instagram accounts, um, TikTok, which we're not on, all on YouTube, doing videos like this, getting social media to get attention to your product. You can do SEO and blogging. So blogging is an organic way to get traffic to your product. A lot of times organic traffic converts better because people are actively searching and they find your blog and they're like, oh, okay, I want to buy that. And they go into it. Where with paid advertising, which is fantastic, you can get people quickly. You do have to spend a little bit more time warming them up and convincing them of your product. Or if you have really good targeting, you can get the right people with paid advertising. Say, for example, billboards next to the highway. If your billboard is on a small little country road, and you're have a billboard for luxury watches, probably not the right product with the right audience, right? People on a little dinky country road, they're not going to care about having a nice, what's a Rolex, right? But if you have a barbecue billboard next to a highway in Georgia, you're going to convert. So.
And all you need to say, if that's what you're selling, all you need to have is the word BBQ, and you're going to make sales.
Yeah.
No design. So that's another a really great point, which is not really what we're talking about here. But if you have the right targeting and you have the right offer, for example, the offer is barbecue in Georgia, you don't need to have the best sales copy. You don't need to have the best design. You don't need to spend hours and hours on market research. Just have the right thing for the right people, and you're going to make sales, which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Can you give that example that you gave me the other day of a glass of water to somebody in the desert?
Yes, that's going to sell. So if you're trying to sell water, right? Water is the biggest commodity in the whole wide world, right? If you just walk up to a busy street and say, hey, do you want to buy this water? Most people will be like, dude, I can get water when I want water. Don't leave me alone. That's bad targeting. But if you're in the middle of the desert and you have a glass of water, you don't even need to put a sign that says water. They're going to come and beg you for your water because you're in the right place at the right time and you have a great offer for them. If you're in the ocean, that's actually a great place to sell water since you can't drink the ocean water. You're just, as we all know that. So yeah, targeting and having the right offer is the most important thing. But if you can't get their attention, which, these are all examples of getting people's attention, it's hard to make sales. And when you first get started with blogging, it's a beautiful place to get started because it can help you figure out your voice, help you figure out what offer you actually want to sell. And as you start to make sales through your blogging, you can actually start to scale that with other methods like paid advertising, diving into other aspects of social media, which is what we've done to help our business scale to what it has. All right. So all right. So you get people's attention. You're selling water, whatever the case might be. How do you create desire with that, Susie?
All right. What did we write on our powwow section?
All right. So let me get started here. Yeah. So once you have people's attention, let's say you're showing an ad on Facebook for your new online course, you want to drive them over to get some information about it. So you're going to want to have some sales copy.
Testimonials.
Yep.
Hey, other people like my water, or other people have had success with my printables.
Stories sell so well. Yeah. Having a gripping story of success, like kind of a hero's journey. So success stories,
guarantees.
What does that mean?
Or at least like a money back guarantee. Like, hey, if this doesn't work for you, you can get your money back. That makes it easy for people to purchase your program or your product.
Reversing risk, right? A guarantee basically says, hey, this is what my product will do. If you do these steps, you're going to get this result. If you don't, I'm taking on the risk. You have no risk. I'll give you your money back if you don't, if you don't get the result you want. Great ways of helping you convert. Because, when you say desire, these are also things that can help you increase what we call conversions. Like basically, if you get people into your sales process, are they coming out the other side as customers, or are they bouncing out and going and finding other things? These are all ways of doing this. So there's a ton of ways of creating desire. And ultimately, once you've created that, you get down to the sales side and you simply want to make it easy for them to make the sale. I've seen some sales processes that ask for their billing address, that ask for 13 different questions, ask for 3 different phone numbers that they want to have just to be able to buy some digital product that doesn't need any of that at all. So simply optimizing your checkout process and having upsells and downsells, other slightly more advanced topics we don't need to get into right now. Making your sales process easy and simple and trustworthy is really all you need to worry about if you're doing a good job at finding the right attention and creating the right desire along the way.
Yeah. And a very simple tip is from where you create that attention and that desire, those images and pages should look somewhat similar to where they actually go to purchase it. If your pages on your blog or on social media are all unicorns and they're all pink, and they go to the checkout page and it's black and has one blue button, it's gonna be like, am I still in the right place? I feel a little lost. So just a very simple thing, at least make the two places where you get their attention and where they actually make the purchase look similar. Otherwise, they're going to feel a little lost and confused.
Right. You're sending your customers on a journey, right?
Yeah.
And if the journey doesn't feel like they're making progress from step 1 to step 2, if they feel like they just hopped off the train and they're on something else now, it can really scare people, especially when it comes to building trust. And that's one thing we didn't write down on the desire section. If people don't trust you, if they can't look you in the face and feel like, okay, this person is going to take care of me, I see what they've done, I think they can get the same results for me. If they don't trust you, they're not going to buy from you. So people sometimes fret over things like the design or the page speed score. I'm looking at myself sometimes here. But if you can build trust and you can be authentic and you can have a great offer that's where they need to be right now, you're going to find some great success.
Definitely.
All
So
right.
anything else we want to cover on this quick lesson of sales funnels?
Yeah, I think that's enough on the sales funnels. One thing that I've become really, really passionate about since I left my corporate job, one thing I missed was being able to help people along and coaching people along. I coached people as they were getting their green belts and black belts in statistics and Six Sigma, all these kind of high-techy things. And I missed that when I left my job. So I decided to open up something called the Simple Funnel Academy, which is 2 courses called Ads by Number and Funnel by Number that walk you through everything, way more detail, obviously, than we did in this quick free video, but it walks you through the sales funnel process. It shows you how to set up the tech. It shows you how to link it all together. It gives you examples of copy to use in your emails, in your ads, in your retargeting, and everything you need. And it also comes with access to me for 6 weeks. If that sounds kind of cool, you can log in every Thursday. I'll be there from the beginning of the day till the end of the day, no matter what time zone you're in. Just come on, hang out with me. It's like office hours in college. We can walk through
this. Me and you talking like this.
We're hanging out.
Here's my business. Help me here.
Exactly. It's private. You can come in. If you need to share your login details, I can kind of check out what's going on in your tech and help you and get launched. The goal is after 30 days, you can launch traffic where you're putting $1 into ads and you're getting at least $1 out plus leads and customers and sales.
Yeah.
And by the end of 6 weeks, which is the program's length, you should be profitable. That is the goal. If you do the work, you follow through the lessons. I've had some pretty fantastic success rates with the students. If you want to learn more, that's the end of this little pitch. Go on, click on the link down below in the description or go to simplefunnelacademy.com. All right. So that's it for me, Susie. Anything you want to say as we say goodbye?
Yeah, just one thing about the Academy is it was a big decision for us to open John's time up like this, because if you would just take that time and just focus on our own business, we could continue growing and doing really well. But because you had this corporate experience and you really missed working one-on-one with other people, like this was your desire. Your desire is not just to look at our profit margins every month. Your desire is actually to interact and help other people. So like you're not some fancy like Lamborghini guy that's just gonna be like, oh yeah, thanks, I got my money. No, you're like really concerned, and like he spends like nights up. He's like, how can I help my students better? So just a little kudos to your amazing character guy.
Well, thank you. And so that being said, this is a limited time offer. This is an open evergreen. Yeah. If you'd like to join in, it's going to be closed in a couple of days, November 4th. Just a very short launch. I like it being a small, tight-knit community. I don't want to have hundreds of people in where I'm helping because I feel like I can't help hundreds of people right at the same time. So if you want more personalized help, that is where to go. So simplefunnelacademy.com. And until the next video, guys, thank you and take care.